Here, our goal is to determine the size of angle A. Notice that according to this chart, we can often spot co-interior angles by drawing a C shape. So let's draw a C shape on this diagram. So notice that here we have drawn a C shape, and 60 and A, these are co-interior angles. But what do we know about co-interior angles? Here we have a C shape again, and we have G and H. These are co-interior angles. And here we have G plus H equals to 180 degrees. And so that means that co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. And so that means that 60 degrees and A is going to be equal to 180 degrees. And so if we want to determine the size of angle A, what we need to do is we need to subtract. We need to take 180 minus 60. And what does that give us? That gives us 120. And so that means that the size of angle A is going to be equal to 120 degrees. Next, our goal is to determine the size of angle B. Again, our goal is to determine the size of angle B. We already know that angle A is 120 degrees from the previous question. And we know that this is 100, but what is the size of angle B? Here, we're going to use this useful geometrical rule, which states that angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. Notice that these three angles are around this particular point. And so that means that 120, 100, and angle B all adds up to 360 degrees. And so if we want to determine the size of angle B, what we need to do is we need to first add 120 and 100. We're going to add them first, then subtract their sum from 360. And so we have B is going to be equal to 360 degrees minus 120 degrees plus 100 degrees. Let's add 120 plus 100 is going to be equal to 220. And so we have 360 minus 220. And 360 minus 220 is definitely 140. And so that means that the size of angle B is definitely 140 degrees. Next, let's move on to the next part of the question. This states calculate the size of angle C. Calculate the size of angle C. Notice that vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. And so notice that we have B here, and B is vertically opposite to this angle, all right? B is vertically opposite to this angle. And so that means that this angle will also be B, right? Because vertically opposite angles are equal. The same is true for angle A. Notice that this angle is vertically opposite to this angle. And so since they are vertically opposite, that means that they are equal. So this is A, and this is also A as well. And so let's move on to angle C that we have in our question. C is vertically opposite to 60 degrees. Again, C is vertically opposite to this angle. And so since C is vertically opposite to 60 degrees, that means that C equals to 60 degrees because vertically opposite angles are equal in measure.